equations into slope-intercept form. What do you notice? I mean, these look really different, don't they? Like totally different equations. But today, and especially tomorrow, we're going to play with your mind. Let's just quickly change them by adding, subtracting. So right away we go minus x both sides, 3y equals negative 1x plus 6. Then divide by 3. And so we get y equals negative 1/3 x plus 2. So on the other equation, let's just flip-flop the sides, but don't change anything because we're changing both sides. It's no big deal, okay? Wouldn't change any signs. We just flip-flopped everything. Okay, so we're still equal. We just switched left side, right side. But now we'll just switch one thing at a time. So we'll go minus 30. And so here we have to do the opposite when we move one thing at a time. So 5x minus 30, divide by negative 15. And so we get y equals negative 1/3 x plus 2. So we went from some very different looking equations into equations that were exactly the same. That's why we got to be so careful with our algebra. Now, tomorrow we're going to see there's a little problem with this. But today we're just going to change our equations a little bit. But they're going to stay the same, just going to change their appearance. So really what we did was just took this one, multiplied it by 5, and then we got the second equation. Nothing changed. And we moved some things around. So it's okay algebraically to change a few things because we're not really changing the line, just changing appearances. Okay? And that's why we have that on there, just to show you that changing appearances is okay. I'm talking about the equations here, just to let you know. Okay. All right, going on then. The goal of elimination is to eliminate. Okay, so one variable, only one, is eliminated by adding or subtracting the two equations. Now, some not cool fun math textbooks will call this the adding subtracting method, and they'll actually say only do adding or only do subtracting. Ignore it. Just do elimination. You choose whether to add or subtract, because that's what's going to happen on the test. I'm not going to be specific. Okay, now you got to add, now you got to subtract. I'm just going to say solve by elimination. So you choose whether you add or subtract. Okay. And if you look on the board, the signs tell you. Notice 8x and 8x, they're the same. We subtracted. Then we had one positive, one negative. Signs are opposite. And we added. Okay? So that's what you're looking for, the signs. So if we have right here, example number 1, solving algebraically, which one's going to be the easiest to eliminate? Which variable, x or y? Yeah, y. Why? Because the coefficients are the same. It's set up for you to quickly get rid of y. Now, should you add or subtract? Well, you should add, and that's because they're opposite signs. Okay. So really coefficients aren't the same, they're the same digits. If we were going to subtract, then we'd want the same signs. So that's how you tell whether you should add or subtract. So here we want to add, we put a little line and we add them up. And then we work vertically. So we have x plus 2x gives us 3x plus 1y plus negative 1y cancels out. And 2 plus 7 is 9. I wouldn't write the 0. It's kind of a waste of pencil lead. Don't really need it. Might confuse you. Some people like to slash it out. Some people do nothing. Your choice. Don't really care how you show it. It's canceled though. Okay. And then what does x equal? 3. Right? 9 divided by 3. 2. 9 divided by 3. Okay. Can you do that? Pretty easy. Okay, now what we could do is do double elimination and go and change our x's and get rid of it. But this question, the one equation, like look at this, x plus y equals 2. That's so simple. Let's do a combination and let's substitute. Okay, and so we get 3 plus y equals 2. What's y equal? -1. Bring the 3 to the side by subtracting. And so your answer then, your solution to the system is bracket 3 comma -1 bracket. Okay, and you put it in a square box. All right. So that's your answer, that's your solution. Now we did a combination method here because it's so simple. In your homework, the questions are a little bit harder. It's easier to double eliminate, and I'll show you how to do that. In fact, the super hard questions, double elimination, actually is really slick. Works good. Okay, so first of all, example 2. Which variable should you get rid of? Because I asked. Okay, because it's the easiest one, right? The coefficients are the same. Should you add or subtract? Subtract. They have the same signs. We talked about that up above. Okay, so simply subtract. Go ahead. Tell me what's left over. 4x equals 12. Okay, the y's are gone. And so what does x equal? 3. Okay. Now, these equations are a little bit harder, so I don't feel like doing substitution now. Let's try a double elimination. What should I multiply by to get my x's the same? Well, first of all, what number would make them the same? 21. Okay. So the top one you're going to multiply by 3. And you should put brackets around it. And remember, you're multiplying into each term. So you should get 21x plus 3y equals 45. Everything gets multiplied by 3. Now the bottom, what should you multiply by? 7. Okay, multiply each term by 7 now. See what you can do. Okay, so multiply by 7, 21x plus 7y equals 21. Should we add or subtract? How do we get rid of our x's? Subtract, because the signs are the same. Now you got to be super careful. Make sure you're going 3y minus 7y. -4y. Okay. 45 minus 21. Well, what's 45 minus 20? 25. 1 less? 24. Okay, so sometimes rounding can help you with your subtractions, folks. Okay, and then divide by 4. Sorry, -4. Y equals -6. So your solution is 3 comma -6 in brackets. Okay, questions? What do you guys have for me? Anything about what I did? What's going on? Thumbs up down in the middle. Where are you guys? Okay, good. We're not going to do too much harder. This one here. This is kind of an easy one. Which variable do you want to get rid of first? Rachel, your choice. Because I asked. Okay, so what would you do? Add. Okay, but are they the same though yet? No. So what should you do to the top one? Perfect. So multiply it by 2. You could multiply it by -2, but we don't need to, right? The bottom one we won't change, just rewrite. Make sure you line up your variables. So we're going to get 2x minus 4y equals 14. Okay, line up your x's and your y's and your constant. And I think Rachel said add. Is that correct? Is she right? Yeah, because the signs are different, so you want to add. Okay. Good. Go ahead, do that. X equals 3. Are you guys getting that too? Perfect. Now, what we can do is, to save some space, let's get rid of the y's? Sorry, the x's. What should we do to get rid of the x's? Amdeep, what do you think? We could substitute in. Yeah, that would. We want to practice double elimination real quick, though, okay? But yeah, you could totally do that. No problems. What could you do, though? Multiply the top. We'll get rid of our x's. 3x plus 4y equals 1. So I'm not going to change the second one. But what would I do to the top one? Yeah, you simply multiply it by 3. Okay. So what do you get? Chris?
-2.
3x minus 6y equals 21. Add or subtract, Chris? What do you think? Subtract. Okay, this is a tricky one. Go ahead and do it. Here's the trick. It's negative 10y because it's negative 6 minus 4y. So you're going down to negative 10. Okay. Then divide by negative 10, y equals negative 2. So your solution is 3 bracket negative 2. Yes, Penny? Because if we added, we would get 6x. Did you want 6x? No. You want it to be 0, which means we have to subtract. So the weird thing is, watch the screen. You have to go negative 6y minus 4y. And that's how we're getting the negative 10. Okay? We got to be careful on our heads to do that properly. Okay? That's tough. It really is. All right. Any other questions? Okay. All right. Subtraction is the one that we got to be careful of. Absolutely. Okay, let's see what you can do. Next one. Go for it. You don't have to change your x's. Okay, here we'll change our x's. And then you have to change your y's. And we'll go work our y's going down. Okay? Doesn't matter which one, but that's how we'll do it to keep it the same. Go for it. I'll give you a chance to solve this all by yourself. See what you can do, okay? Okay, so have a look up here at the red. I got my x's the same. Now be very careful with your subtraction here. Notice I got 52. Okay. You're most likely going to get a fraction as your final answer. Okay, so what we're looking at here is positive 23y because it's 15y minus negative 8y. That works out to 15y plus 8y. Which is 23y. Okay? So you got to be super careful with your subtraction. Then y is going to be a fraction, 52 divided by 23. That's your final answer. And this is really why we always practice double elimination. Because you don't, like to substitute that in would be really hard work. You could do it really hard. So do double elimination, get rid of your y's now. Okay. Hands up if you got 14 over 23. Awesome. Good work. Good work. And this is exactly why we do double elimination, is because the hardest question I'm going to give you, you're going to get 2 fraction answers. You can't use a substitution. It'll be way too hard. You could. It's just really hard, okay? And that's why double elimination makes it super easy. Now, in your homework tonight, feel free to make your choice, because some of them will be just like example 1, where one of the equations is going to be super easy to use substitution with, okay? But some of them are going to be harder, and that's when you should do double elimination. Always practice it because it's a good skill to have. Any questions? How many people are scared of the next one? Hands up. Yeah, you know you are. Okay, it's easy. Get rid of the fractions. So what number can we multiply to get rid of the denominators of 2 and 4? 2 will only work for the first one, not the second one. 4. 4 will work. Sometimes it's one of the numbers. So you multiply in and cancel. So 4 times 3 is 12. 12 divided by 2 is 6x. Okay. 4 times 1, sorry, negative 1 divided by 4 is negative 1y. And we won't write the 1. And then, of course, 4 times the last term, negative 16. Look at that. Easy now. We're going to multiply the bottom one by. So the top one was one of the numbers, but the bottom one, yeah, multiply the 2 of them together. 3 times 2 is 6. 6 will work for both. Okay, you've already been doing a little bit of this stuff. So 6 times 1 divided by 3. Okay. So now you have 2 equations to work with. Now you can get rid of the x's over here, and down below we'll get rid of the y's. Okay, you go ahead, do your work, see what you can do now all by yourself. I don't know. I can make mistakes, right? Negative 10y equals something big, like 160. Negative 160. Okay, so that one's really tricky because it's negative 16 minus 144. Okay, or minus positive 144. So here y equals positive 16. Okay. How many people got positive 16 for y? Awesome. Try the next one. Eliminate y. Don't be stumped. There's a trick here. Follow all through all the way to the end. Not in class, eh? So we get 20x, which is okay, but something must be wrong because we get 0. Like, that can't be right. Oh, 0. Oh no. Well, that's okay. Then go 0 divided by 20. Oh, it's undefined. Oh, wait a second. If you actually do it on your calculator, 0 divided by 20, it's only 0. It's okay, folks. X equals 0. Right? Sometimes 0 will be one of your answers. Double check your work, but you know what? It could be possible. Okay? And what's so special about this point 016? It's not a straight line, it's a point. But what's so special about the point? 0 for your x value. Yeah, what is it, Casey? No. That's an equation. 0, 16 means you don't go anywhere left or right. So 0, 16 is a y-intercept. Okay. So it's okay to have a y-intercept. That's okay. No big deal. Any questions?